Well, good morning. This is episode something of This Is Us. Whatever we are, we're not sure ourselves, but
we're here, and it's us.
We give it a shot. And I want to notice. I want to take this up. I'm not wearing a hat anymore. I'm not wearing my glasses anymore because of my cataract surgery, and I'm just going to go with my head. I decided bald is cool
Because this is you.
This is me, and this is my head. God help all of us.
You're a beautiful head, John.
Right, thank you. That's right.
I love your head.
Blush. Now you're making me blush.
And you have very nice hair,
Okay,
too.
all right. Let's move along now. The subject today is one of our favorite, actually. Every year we celebrate the life of the farm, and having sheep, having animals like sheep, and Maria's sort of evolution as somebody who loves wool and sells wool and makes wool. And
I think of myself as a shepherd.
You are a
Am
shepherd.
I a shepherd? I love the idea of me being a shepherd, which is not something I ever in my life aspired to be. And yet I think about it and I think, oh, I'm a shepherd. And then I think of all those pictures of like people, bringing their sheep out to the fields.
We should get you a shepherd's hook. We need a shepherd's hook.
We have two of those in the barn.
You got to start walking. No, if you want to be a shepherd, you have to have that.
They're kind of weird, though.
You also might consider getting a border collie that will actually herd the sheep, which would be another step in that direction. Anyway, back to the subject. So this is wool time. So we've had the sheep shorn. We've worried about them. Maria has worried about them all year. Looked at them, monitored their weight, looked at their wool, and so we brought them last week down to Hillsdale. And what's the name of his?
Nobletown
Fiber
in Hillsdale.
A really good person we really like, a Broadway star, I might add. And Maria worked with him what they're going to do and how they're going to use. What did you actually work on?
Okay, so this time I went really simple with just making the wool into roving, most of which I will make into dryer balls and yarn. And so I have in the last place I went to, they used to dye the wool, the yarn, but they don't do it here. So I'm thinking of, as I have said in the past, I'm thinking of learning how to dye some of the yarn myself, and we'll see how that goes. I have a friend who we might experiment together with it, and there's a woman at the community, the weaving project that
you're going to do tomorrow.
I'm going to do tomorrow. That's where making rag rugs out of scraps of fabric that people bring to the Historical Society in Cambridge, and we're weaving it on a 300-year-old loom, which is like this magnificent wooden. I don't know.
It's older than me.
It's. Oh my God!
I know. Just think about it.
Yeah, so there's a woman there who dyes with indigo, so I may learn how to do that. I'd love to do that. And I could use some of that on some of my linens, too. All those linens that so many of you send me, if I could dye them with indigo and do different things with them, some of them would be really lovely. So
one of the reasons this is important to us is it's one of those rituals.
I did diverge.
Well, that's not the first time. It's one of the things we like about being on a farm. Having sheep and doing something productive with them that's both creative and useful to people and fun. So we go down every year, we look forward to it, and Maria has become a central part of her creativity. Because you have to do 100 things to get the sheep in shape, have them look right, clean up their wool, figure a knitting mill. These are not easy things to do. But the things you really have come to love to do, they're really a part of your identity here, yes?
Definitely. And when we first started doing it, I thought, well, if we're going to have sheep, we might as well have sheep that we can do something with the wool.
Which is something that never occurred to me.
Right.
Ever.
Well, you didn't think about the sheep. You were into the sheep. You were into the dogs herding the sheep. That's all you really cared about.
Right.
So that was
still all I
was
really care about. But I don't have a dog who will herd the sheep anymore. So.
Yeah, but you enjoy watching them and taking pictures of them.
I enjoy watching you and how much you love them and how much they love you. I like
It's such an interesting thing because I still don't feel like 100% like it's a part of me, and yet.
But it is a total part of you now.
It is, no, and I know that, and I do it. You know what I mean? I just don't think about it. I don't think about it in that way.
And since you raised it, it's actually an interesting point about how the life on a farm is evolutionary. In that, I never thought of anything like this. I got the sheep because I was teaching dogs how to herd. I love doing that, working with the border collies, and now of course we have a border collie who chooses to love the sheep and hang around with them. That's fine. It's great. It works for you, and she's a wonderful dog. But it's still kind of not what I ever did. It's not my thing, really. I'm more of a dog creature, as people have pointed out. So that's great. And cat now now cat. So that's a great evolution, I think, on both of our parts. So we have the sheep and we use the sheep, and it's become a really nice part of life here. People love your wool. They sign up for it a year in advance, and you love doing it. And we really enjoy working with our new millman, and he is open to ideas, and he's probably going to have them before Christmas. And I see it, but I want to point out that all year this takes work on your part.
Oh, it's every day, right?
It's every
when you
day.
have animals that like this, it's every day. And there's you never get a break from it, but unless we go away, which we don't do very often. But I love it. I love it. I love going out there, and I love taking care of them, and I love watching them and keeping an eye on
Keeping
them
on their weight and their wool
and
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 keeping
seeing
them
what's going
clean and all
on.
that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, my latest thing is there's this agramonia, which is a flower that makes a little conical seed that gets stuck in their wool. So I'm really keeping an eye out for it in the pastures this year, and I'm going to pull out as much of it as possible because it really it's.
And he said he has a machine that can do it too.
Yeah, but they have to pick it out by hand. They have to run it through the thing and then pick it out by hand. So it's definitely a problem. I had the same problem with burdock at one point, and I was able to get rid of the burdock, which I know burdock is a good plant in many ways. You can make tea out of it, and you can eat burdock root, but not for my purposes.
It's also, I think one of the things I also like about it, I love watching it and I love being a part of it, but I also love the fact that it's really your thing. It's not really my thing, and that's fine.
Well, it's that kind of evolution, like you
Right.
said. This whole thing evolved, and I think we have, I think that goes on constantly. That kind of evolution. I mean, you see it in our work, in your work. Look at how your work has evolved from the very beginning to where it is now.
Yeah, instead of working with border collies, I have a pantry.
Yeah, but
I'll take
it's
it.
true. You just keep evolving to a different focus, and your focus is still on the farm and our life here and nature. In the animals.
And also, I can't say enough about our blogs and how they have helped us integrate these things into our lives, share them with other people, and even make a living, more or less, off of it. It's very expensive for you to do this. It's a lot of hard work, and it costs you a lot of money. And you need to sell the yarn.
Yes, I do.
You won't be able to do it.
Right.
And yet you do every year, and that happens. And I like being around it, even if I'm not doing it myself. I never have been that close to sheep, and I don't think they trust me nearly as much as they trust you. He's the guy with the dogs. He's the guy with the dogs. Well, they do trust fate, so that's something.
They're better around you now. I don't think they
Yeah, they're
remember
fine.
it.
No, they're very nice to me now.
Yeah.
But I don't sit down and talk to them like you do, or
No,
that stuff.
well.
So that's okay. You know what I mean? I do other things, and,
Yeah.
and it fits.
Yeah.
But the life of the farm is very diverse, if I can use this word, still legal. And I like the fact that we grow with it.
Yeah, well, it's constant.
And this
it's
is a very
constant,
rich part
right?
of our lives that's happening now.
Yeah,
So we're lucky. So I think that's basically it, right?
I guess. I mean,
Unless you have something to add.
I don't think I really
For
do.
once,
I
we can
think
be briefer.
we don't have that much to say.
No,
about our sheep.
we usually start winding up to 12 and 15.
Well, just the other thing is that the wool has made me creative in other ways. I mean, I had to find different things to do with it, and coming up with making the dryer balls, that became a very creative thing because I had all this roving, and I'm like, okay, the people aren't buying the roving, what do I do? And now the dryer balls has become a big part of what I do, and also the wool pellets, which people can put in their garden and use to as mulch or to help supplement the soil. It's constant. It's like you say, that's part of the evolution, and we're constantly figuring out new ways to do things and new ways to.
That's your creativity. You're a very creative business person, if I can say that. You're not really a business person, but you are in a way.
I know.
And
I'm not a very good business
well, you
person.
are, but you are.
But-
you
but
do this stuff. You organize it. You get it there, and you
I
sell
do.
it.
It's true.
And
It's true.
it
I've learned
works.
how to do that.
You're a much better business person than you realize
Yeah.
because it's creative, and you weave the creativity.
That's the part. Yes, that's the part.
And you're always thinking, okay, well, how can I do this better, and how can I work
Yeah,
on this?
yeah.
But it's very hard work, and you do it perfectly. It all gets done.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
I don't know if I do it perfectly, but
But it's a lot of
we get it
gratification,
done.
and it pays for itself.
Well, we
It's
get to live around the animals, which is such a. I
Yeah.
mean, for me, I just love being around them. I love taking care of them, and I love looking out the window and seeing them. I mean, it's such a joy that this is. Well, I think of that. I think I look out my window, and this is what I get to see. It's
And I love. It's great to watch Maria go out and do that. She chats with the moths that are drowning, and she chats with the chicken who are laying eggs, hopefully, or get scolded. And she says hello to each one of the sheep, and she's got the dogs behind her marching around like little lieutenants. Now the cat follows you around as well.
and the birds are chasing the cat.
And you have something to say to all of them.
Yeah.
And they seem to have something to say to you. So it's very beautiful. And this is a big part of that. So I thought it was good to note that, because it's really what makes our lives rich, and it makes the farm. It's not a big farm, but you do an awful lot on it, and so do I. I have a lot to write about it. I love taking pictures of it. So it meshes together really nicely.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, I think we did get to
right.
our big time. So it's
right, enough
fun.
of that.
This
Enough
is
of
a
us.
really fun subject, and I hope you get to enjoy it like we do, because we do share it as everything else. And it's great to watch Maria evolve in this way, and I get the joy
You
of that.
evolve too. You
Absolutely.
know, you just,
Not in different ways,
you
but
know, whatever it is.
I don't want to be a
however it
sheep. I
is.
just don't want to be a sheep. All right. Well, thank you. You have a great week. We'll be back next week.
Bye,
And we
everyone.
appreciate you. Thanks for paying attention.
Thank you. Thanks
for listening
watching.
to us.